And we are live. Finally, we are back after a week of technical difficulties. Last week, humongous difficulties on my side. But I'm back. We're back. We're all back. And this is going to be the last show for April. We're going to take a hiatus of May. We're going to take May off and come back in June 1st. If there's any change between now and June, I'll update you guys through Facebook. If there's any breaking news or anything like that, I'll do like a Facebook Live or a YouTube video and give my thoughts and opinions on what's going down in the world of politics. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead with our Roseanne review, because Roseanne from last week, I was able to watch it before we got live, and my goodness, it was a funny one. It was a great one. This one was full of Easter eggs with Ms. Estelle Parsons coming back as Roseanne's mom. You have the dude from The Big Bang Theory coming back as David.
Johnny Galecki. Yeah, Johnny Galecki. Yeah. Johnny Galecki.
Oh man, so I'm wondering if he's going to be have a recurring role on it as well. Maybe, hopefully, I like to see more of that.
He probably is. I mean, he'll, of course, he'll have to split his time between Roseanne and Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's going to. I think we're going to see him again this season.
Mm-hmm.
And also Estelle Parsons as Roseanne's mom, having sex all over the nursing home and giving gonorrhea.
That was great. That was so great. Yeah. So the whole premise of the episode was there was two storylines going on with Roseanne's mom coming to live with them because she got kicked out of the old folks' home because, like Henry said, having sex with all the old people. Great, funny stuff. And I gotta say, Estelle Parsons, she's like in her 80s. She's still kicking it.
Yes, she's in her 80s, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And, of course, the other storyline is David, Johnny Galecki, and trying to kind of get back into Darlene's life. I mean, they even slept together for that one night.
Yeah, and it seems like they was going to get back together.
Yeah. Dan didn't seem too enthused about it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Roseanne seemed to be a bit more accepting. I mean, she was contacting David behind Darlene's back. So.
Ooh, wait a minute. Estelle Parsons, she is 90.
90? Wow.
90. Yeah, so she must have been 89 when they filmed that. So, wow.
Yeah.
For 90 years old, she's still at it.
Yeah, she is. It's amazing. I mean, she doesn't look 90. I mean, she looks like she's probably in her 70s, maybe 60s. Mm-hmm. She looks relatively young. I mean, even though she's 90, she looks relatively young.
Yeah.
Or younger, I should say.
Yeah.
She looks amazing. She's aged well. We'll just put it that way. Estelle Parsons has aged well. She really has.
She has. So going back to David and Darlene, they basically what David wanted to do was to reconcile with Darlene and see if they can make the marriage work.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like Darlene wanted to do that in the beginning because, like you said, she slept with him that night when he did. Another callback when he climbed up on the ladder and went into the window to get so that Dan wouldn't see him, which is great.
Yeah, that was a callback to the original series.
Like almost every show in the 90s had that same cliche with the boy coming into the girl's window.
Right. Yeah, they did. Yeah. But yeah, and I mean the fact that I mean, he wants to have a good relationship with Harris, of course, and with Mark.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he asked Darlene about Mark, and she said, "Well, he likes to dress, and he likes to put on dresses." You know.
Yeah.
So he really just kind of reacted like that. Okay, he just kind of reacted. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of his reaction. He didn't have much of a reaction to his son
Mm-hmm.
dressing or putting dresses on. So
Mm-hmm.
because it's the 2010s. I mean, that's a thing now. So
Yeah.
obviously that's not going to be a big issue with parents these days. I don't think.
It just depends on the parents itself. You know, there's some
That's
parents
true.
that's accepting of, and there's other parents who, want their kids to be, a quote unquote normal.
Mm-hmm. Now, one thing that I do like about Roseanne is that I mean they did get very political in the first episode this season, but they really haven't. They focus a lot, of course, on stories, on their story, the story of the Connor family.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because you can't have it being about politics every week. You have to have a storyline.
Yeah,
they've really done a
absolutely.
good job with
Because
that. They really have.
Politics every week, it'd just get boring and tired. And, even though Roseanne's great, it would just be boring.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. It would just be boring. But it's great to see, anyway, the writing is still good on the show and everything. And everybody's still great. Everybody's still funny.
Yeah, you can tell they really enjoyed working on them new episodes, and I can't wait for season 11. That's coming out. Hopefully in the fall, in the fall of this year, or early next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I've enjoyed this so far. This is it's really been good. The first 5 episodes. So now they didn't have a new one on this past Tuesday. They actually showed reruns of some of the ones from this season, including the one where Roseanne, her granddaughter, and Darlene go to the granddaughters go to the grocery store, and the youngest granddaughter says beep.
That was great. I love that.
Over the scanner.
Yeah, the self checkout.
Yeah. The self checkout, yeah.
I mean, hilarious. Only Roseanne.
Oh, I know, yeah. And then Roseanne tells the granddaughter, hit it. And she says, beep. That was the episode. That was the episode with David and Roseanne's mom.
Yeah, it was. That was the opening of that episode.
Yeah, because they were getting the cake for Harris's birthday party.
Yep. Yeah. So
but I mean,
Darlene,
it's great to see the storyline.
Go ahead.
I was going to say it's great to see the storyline with David trying to get back into Darlene's life, and he has to kind of improve himself and things of that nature. And Dan doesn't want him in the house.
Oh yeah, Dan told him. He said in 2 weeks that's when you can see the kids, and then that's in 2 weeks he's going to move into his new apartment that he got.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Roseanne is a little more understanding. She considers David like her own kid. So
yeah. And she told him like that at the end of the episode that if you do it again, you won't have anybody to defend you. And Roseanne meant her. Roseanne is the only one that was defending him.
Yeah, she was. But I mean, I thought it was great. I mean, I thought that was. And of course, you had Harris smashing the cakes up at the store.
Yeah. Yeah, because she haven't seen David in a long time. They said that she hasn't seen David in a long time, and every time that David wants to come, he decides not to come, and then Harris gets mad at that.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but yeah, it was, I really enjoyed this episode. I liked the dynamic with David and Harris, and of course, David and Darlene, and David and Roseanne. Yeah, that was a good dynamic also.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this, this new season is really, really punting out hit after hit after hit. And the ratings show that. I mean, it's still high ratings. That's why there's season 11 coming around.
Well, wasn't it a week after the premiere that they decided that ABC decided to renew it for another season?
It was this. I think it was like the day after the premiere. It was like
right,
the day after the premiere.
Yeah, after all those high ratings came in, they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, we got to renew this."
Yeah, I mean, it was like what? So, it was like almost like 27 point something million people watched, and that's not including the people that watched on DVR, because you got to include DVR ratings as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, for this to, I mean, the original Roseanne obviously was a ratings juggernaut back then.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how would the revival do?
Yeah.
We saw how the revival did. People wanted to see Roseanne again. They wanted to see these characters again.
I mean, after like what, 20 plus years, Roseanne comes back on, and she's still a hit after all these years. It's just amazing.
She's still relevant. That's the thing. Roseanne is still relevant even now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there are people who respect her opinion as far as defending President Trump and being a Trump supporter.
Mm-hmm.
Even those even leftists are like, okay, well, we don't agree with her politically, but she's still funny. Not all the episodes are going to be political, so.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like the time was right. People wanted to see more Roseanne. And I was excited when I saw the announcement last year of when they were going to be bringing it back. I was like, "Oh, they're bringing Roseanne back? And she's a Trump supporter? Oh, this is going to be good."
I mean, we need more stuff like that. And they say anything. They say that sex sells. Well, anything pro-Trump sells in this political climate. And we see that with all the pro-Trump, artists out there, and they voice their vocal support, and then they're like, their music sales are like through the roof. Their concerts are showed out because they say they support Trump. And this is a good transition to go to Kanye West and his newfound awakening.
Before we get to Kanye West, I just want to go back to one more thing about Roseanne for a second. Another thing about bringing Roseanne back, it kind of taps into nostalgia.
Yeah.
Nostalgia. People were nostalgic for something like Roseanne.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the time was right to bring it back, and that's what ABC did. And I think that was a good move on ABC's part. It really was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we see the results of it. We're like, it was a really good move for ABC to bring Roseanne back.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and plus, they got all the original cast back together.
Yeah,
I mean, not a lot of revival shows can do that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're even able to get Johnny Galecki, to come on as David.
Yeah.
They're able to get Johnny Galecki back on as David and Estelle Parsons as Roseanne's mom. So, I mean, it's win-win all the way around. The only one they couldn't get because he passed away was Shelley Winters.
Yeah.
So, other than that, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a ratings boom for ABC. And again, like I said, it taps into the nostalgia thing as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it seems like the people of Hollywood isn't still getting it. We see ratings hit Roseanne, and they're still pumping out anti-Trump propaganda, and and hopefully Hollywood would never get it. Because Hollywood right now, I cannot stand Hollywood. Hollywood in general. There's just so many things wrong going on in Hollywood, and we'll get into the whole Bill Cosby situation and where that's going.
Oh boy, yes, yeah, we'll definitely get into that. All right, you were talking about Kanye West. You know, I used to think Kanye West, and I still kind of think he's an egomaniacal jackass.
I didn't like him, but I'm glad he's, finally woken up and finally seeing what everybody's been talking about. I mean, he came out with a tweet that said Obama's been in office for 8 years and nothing in Chicago had ever changed. I mean, Kanye West, as much as I dislike the dude, I gotta agree with him on all of this, this. So I support. As much as I don't like him, I support him 100%. I back him 100%. Would I back him for president? I probably wouldn't go that far. He might run. I kind of doubt it. I don't think he would. But I'm glad he's, waking up and said, you know what, screw everybody. I'm going to think for myself. I'm going to tell you guys what I think and give you guys my opinion. You can hate me. You can like me. You cannot follow me anymore. But I think this is a really good. Now, I do have some concerns that this might be one big publicity stunt, but I hope that's not the case. Because I think we know how Kanye West is. He likes the publicity and, there's all these publicity stunts. I don't think that's the case, but I could be wrong. We'll wait for a couple of months and see if Kanye has switched at all. But I really support Kanye in his decision of coming out as not. He said he doesn't support Trump all the way. He doesn't disagree with him things on some, and that's good because we disagree with Trump on some stuff too. I mean,
Trump's not God, and we're not going to support him on everything he says or everything he does. But he came out in support of Candace Owens, who was a young black conservative woman, which was really good. He said he really liked what she said. He thought that she produced a lot of truth in what she said.
Yeah,
and you have to be. That's the thing. Blacks who are conservatives. I mean, to the left. I mean, the left claims not to be racist, but if there's a black that's a conservative or black that decides to think for themselves, leftists become the most racist individuals you can imagine.
Yeah. I mean, we saw that with Roseanne's ex-husband, Tom Arnold. He came out and said that Candace Owens, can suck racist dick. And I'm like, dude, that just makes you a racist. That makes you a freaking racist. So... And we see that not only with Candace Owens, we see that with Diamond and Silk. We see that with any black conservative, like you said.
Diamond and Silk, Anthony Brian Logan, who's on YouTube. Let's see, who else? E.T. Williams, Doctor of Common Sense. Alfonso Rachel. There's one guy, Brandon Tatum. He's a good one, too. He's on YouTube.
What about the black dude that went into Starbucks last week and asked for
that guy? Yeah, Hotep. Yeah, him too.
See, when I saw that, I didn't know who he was, and I thought he was like legitimate. I thought he was like legit serious, And then I found out that he's an internet comedian, and he's pretty much on our side. I was like, okay.
He is.
He did that
he was great.
Yeah.
He was great. He was hilarious, what he did.
Oh, man. But, yeah, and then and I was getting ready to say the left said they're not racist unless, there's a black conservative, then they're racist against that guy. It's like, dude.
They call them all kinds of names. They call them Coons and Uncle Toms and House. Yeah, I mean that's that is how they describe any black that decides to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and think for themselves.
Yeah. And going back to this Kanye thing, this is going to people that actually follows Kanye West he's going to open their eyes up, and he's got a huge following. So, his following is going to be massive, and out of that massive following, a couple of 100,000 people is going to start waking up.
Mm-hmm. Well, Kanye West wasn't the only one. Actually, P. Diddy, who I'm not a big fan of, but he came out and he actually supported Kanye. So Kanye's getting a lot of support even from the. He's getting a lot of support from his fellow rappers.
Yeah,
his fellow musicians. They may not. Here's the thing: they may not agree with his political viewpoint, but they're not going to trash him either. They're gonna stand behind him. They're like, hey, we're supporting your right. It's like they're supporting his right to express himself politically. Yeah. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, and what really was big is that Trump actually retweeted Kanye West.
He did.
Yes. The leftist minds just probably exploded, and not only that, he autographed it his "Make America Great Again" hat. Just explosion of the leftist heads is just so satisfying to me. And Trump really needs to capitalize on this Kanye stuff. He needs to bring Kanye to the White House, get with him, and talk with him about Chicago. I think that's the main thing he needs to do, is get with Kanye and just invite him to the White House. For the hell of it, invite the freaking Kardashians to the White House too. Because, man, that'll just make everybody freaking explode right there. Because people love the Kardashians for some reason. But just bring the Kardashians to the White House too, and bring Kanye to the White House, and talk with Kanye about Chicago.
I call them the Kardashians because, which is interesting because listen, Robert Kardashian at first was defending OJ, but then I think Robert Kardashian even realized before he passed away that OJ was guilty. So, but you're talking about the "Make America Great Again" hat. There's a couple of stories we're going to discuss about, which both involve an Make America Great Again hat.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is tremendous to see Kanye. I just hope that he sticks with this, and that it's not just a publicity stunt, as you mentioned.
Yeah, and I hope this gets more people to speak out openly, positively about Trump, even though they don't agree with him 100%. Maybe this would kickstart some more people speaking out positively for Trump, and we saw that with Shania Twain, who spoke out positively to Trump, and she had to go and do some damage control, which I did not like at all. I think she should have stick to her guns and said, I meant what I say, and I said what I meant.
Yes, if you're going to support something or somebody, stick with that. Don't bow to peer pressure. And the problem is, she bowed to peer pressure.
Yeah. And I think maybe one of her publicists or something probably got into her little ear and told her, well, you better apologize. But if I was her, I wouldn't apologize. I wouldn't apologize at all.
There was nothing
at all.
There was nothing to apologize for. There was nothing.
She was expressing her First Amendment right to freedom of speech.
Right.
And then when you go and apologize for that, it makes not only you look bad, but it kills freedom of speech.
She backpedaled. She should not have backpedaled.
Yeah.
But it seems like we see this so much with some of these celebrities, but there are others of these celebrities, they stick to their guns. James Woods is an example.
Yeah. Yeah. James Woods, Clint Eastwood, a handful, Roseanne, a handful of others. But I think what Shania, I don't want to come down too hard on Shania Twain, because I think maybe, like I said, her publicist got in her ear, and then she's probably got a whole bunch of death threats and everything against her and her family. So, you know, it's like I don't blame her, but I wish she would have stick to her guns and just be like, well, I said what I said. I meant every word of it. You know, she should have been like, you know, I apologize for offending people. That's how she should have said it. But you know,
Yeah, I mean
walking back on it.
that's the way I see it. I mean, she, you know, it's like if you say something, and I mean, it should not matter how controversial it is what you say. You should stick to you should stick to your point of view, and you don't worry about if it offends somebody. You know? I mean, why is there so much worry about offending somebody? Just it's like this. You're going to offend somebody no matter what you say or what you do. I mean,
because the left is so nitpicky about language, and you know, if you say something that you think is politically correct, then they're going to be like, oh, well, you should have said it this way, or you should have said it that way. Then, you know, it's damned if you do and damned if you don't. It's one of those scenarios.
Basically. I mean, Shania is Canadian, so but listen, she made a lot of her money here in the States, so
well, she's a big country music star.
Right.
So you know, you have these people in rural, Tennessee, West Virginia, in these rural states that's, you know, heavily invested in country music, you know, and they see that Shania Twain spoke positively of Trump, and then they see that she walked back. You know, I think that's going to affect her a little bit.
Yeah. And what was I going to say? I mean, we know that country music has a very conservative audience. You know? And I mean, look what happened to the Dixie Chicks. I mean, they made that Connie's, and I mean, immediately
they never recovered.
Right? No, they didn't. I mean, it's a little thing called the free market. I mean, you're free to say what you want, but you're not free from consequences. And the fans are free to stop buying your albums, destroy your CDs, destroy your merchandise, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Nobody goes to a concert to hear political opinions.
Yeah.
Nobody goes to a movie.
That's what entertainment is for. Entertainment is so you can entertain people, to get them away from this political, to get away from all the bad stuff that's going on in the world. It's basically a big distraction, you know, so you can get away from all that. And then they want to bring in political stuff into the entertainment so they can brainwash people. And it's not doing a very good job, because people is, you know, getting sick and tired of seeing it every single time on TV. So they just flip the TV off or change the channel and go somewhere else to get their political stuff, or get away from all the political stuff. I mean, I think that's the main reason why a lot of people is cutting the cord from the TV. I mean, not only that it's expensive, but people's getting sick and tired of watching, you know, ESPN, and they talk about, you know, white privilege and how, you know, Colin Kaepernick can't get signed because he's black, you know. And people don't want to watch that. People don't want to watch that.
Well, and, you know, the newest Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi, I'll just give an example. I have not seen it. I don't intend to see it, because I've been hearing things about it from people who have seen it. You know, they say that it's become very SJW. You know, they're trying to, you know, shove these characters on us. These you know, women, like Ray, like this character Ray, is what they call a Mary Sue.
Yeah. So from what I understand, I haven't seen the new ones yet, is that they're rehashing the old storylines, but instead of having the male character, it's a female character. Character. You know, just like with the Ghostbusters, where they have all women Ghostbusters.
Yeah, right.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't mind an all-female Ghostbusters if they did it properly, Make it like, they're the daughters of the four guys, making they're like daughters or the granddaughters or something. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Not just throw these four women together and expect you're going to have a movie.
Well, the thing with Ray that a lot of people have objection to is she didn't really earn a lot of the stuff that she goes through. I mean, she just inherits. It's like she's got the Force automatically, even without much training. She has the Force, and she doesn't go through struggles or anything like that. She it's not like with the original movies where Luke, was on a desert planet. He was pretty much stuck. And then he goes. He has to go out and retrieve R2D2. Meets Obi-Wan Kenobi. Kind of gets an idea of what his destiny is going to be.
Yeah.
But he says, "Listen, I can't do it because I have to work for my uncle. I can't abandon my aunt and uncle." But then he finds out that they're dead. The Empire killed them, so he decides to follow his destiny. And, that goes into Joseph Campbell, the Power of Myth, the book, The Power of Myth that he wrote. The hero's journey. That's where they kind of base that from. They based Luke Skywalker on a lot of the stuff that Joseph Campbell wrote about. The hero's journey, the power of myth and all that, and even the idea of having the villain be the father of the hero was kind of inspired by that storyline. So, but I mean, with Rey, you don't see her really struggling all that much. You don't have a sense of, we want to root for her. We want to see her succeed. At first, I liked The Force Awakens, but now that I think about it more and more, it's not really Star Wars, and it was just a rehash of the first movie. So I really have no interest in the upcoming movies going forward. I have no interest in Solo from the things I've heard about it. The new Han Solo movie.
Yeah, that was a hell of a movie. I mean, rewrite after rewrite, and they lost directors and producers.
Now they have Ron Howard. They got Ron Howard to direct.
Wow.
So.
But I think we can both agree, and we're not bashing, female characters. We're just saying, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Just, I mean, like you said, basically she's got all that stuff because she's a woman. She's got the Force because she's a woman.
Yes.
She's got, R2D2 because she's a woman. She's got, whatever else she's got the lightsaber because she's a woman. Whatever else she's got because she's a woman. And we saw that with the we kind of saw that with the 2016 election. It's Hillary's turn. She needs it because she's a woman. She deserves it because she's a woman. And people are turned off by that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean that's just. Don't just give somebody something just because they're black or just because they're Latino or Asian or whatever. Let them earn it on their own merits, on on their talents, what they can do.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to more Hollywood because a lot of stuff happened in Hollywood this past couple of weeks. Let's go with the big Bill Cosby. Grand Slam. So Bill Cosby was found guilty in the second trial. The first one ended a mistrial. The second one, he was found guilty, and apparently there's going to be another trial. From what I understand, he's going to go on trial again. I'm not sure about that, but I do know for sure that he was found guilty, and he could serve his rest of his life in prison. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see Bill Cosby going to be going behind bars. I don't see that at all. I don't see that at all. I don't think he's going to be behind bars.
Yeah, the sentence could be between 10 to 30 years. That's what they were saying.
Yeah.
I mean, the man's 80 years old. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think he's going to serve any time because he is 80 years old.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I hate to say this, but he might kill himself because we've seen that a lot happening with people, killing themselves before they actually serve their time. So I hate to say it, but I mean, it's a highly plausible situation. But if he doesn't, I still don't see him serving.
They haven't sentenced him yet. They just found him guilty. But
they just found him guilty.
The potential sentence could be between 10 and 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to pay, I think he has to pay a fine of $25,000 or pay damages of $25,000 to each woman whom he raped.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I said this in another medium yesterday, and I think it bears repeating here. This is not a case where we have a baby face and a heel. This is a heel program because the ones who are prosecuting him, you get freaking Gloria Allred and her daughter Lisa Bloom, are a couple of ambulance chasers, and they keep bringing these women out. Janice Dickinson already admitted that she lied about all this.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yes,
she did.
She lied about Janice. Yes, she said that a lot of this stuff. She basically said that some of this did not actually happen the way she said it originally.
That doesn't shock me at all. I don't like Janice Dickinson at all.
Now, I mean, that speaks to her lack of credibility. But does it also speak to the lack of credibility of the other women? I mean, indeed, he may have raped the other women or given them the roofies or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not doubting that, But to me, there's no good guy in this. It's all it's a complete heel program.
Yeah, I completely agree with you because you have the jury that's obviously stacked. You have the
Bill Cosby is the scumbag. Mm-hmm. Bill Cosby is the scumbag, but the ones who are prosecuting him aren't much better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree with you. But it's just going to see where the future holds with him now. I mean, this whole thing basically ruined his whole legacy, and if it comes up that most of those women did lie, like Janice Dickinson, then he's gonna. It's just his legacy is still ruined. It's just gonna be a horrible situation.
And a lot of these cable stations that run classic shows, a lot of them took the Cosby Show off their schedule. TV Land did. Yeah, TV Land pulled it off their schedule. And I can't remember if there were any other. I know TV Land did. I know that. I don't know if there's any other.
Didn't he get his star from the Walk of Fame in Hollywood removed?
I don't know. I hadn't heard that. Now they said today that his doctorate has been revoked.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, because he was an honorary. He had an honorary degree, and that's been revoked now. So I think it was Temple University.
I think so. But this is from the Hollywood Reporter, and this is from 2015. Bill Cosby's Hollywood Walk of Fame star won't be removed despite charges. The honor is a historic landmark and will not be altered.
Right, yeah.
And then going on, it says the Bill Cosby star will remain on the Hollywood Walk of Fame no matter the outcome of the criminal case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but as I said, his honorarium has been removed, though. That has been, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's. I mean, he is certainly no. I'm glad that this came out like it did. I mean, I think it's unfortunate. Something he was railroaded, and he probably was.
Yeah, I think so.
Most likely was. Yeah.
To be honest, I think this was the. I think he was the patient zero in this whole Hollywood sexual assault charges with Harvey Weinstein and the others that's coming up. I think he was the patient zero in the whole thing, to see how far Hollywood can take these accusations.
Yes, I think you're right. I think he was. This was his. I mean, I don't see his reputation surviving this. I mean, as a matter of fact, I know it's not going to survive this.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done.
Mm-hmm.
This is the end of any kind of. I mean, if there's anybody that does defend him now,
mm-hmm.
They'll be considered like, why are you defending him?
Yeah.
And anybody, they will be considered a scumbag if they defend him. So
yeah, I mean, when it first came out, I was like, I was skeptical of the whole thing, because why would 40, 50 different women come out with basically the same accusation on him, and basically tell the same story of how he drugged them and allegedly drug and raped them. I was skeptical of the whole thing. I'm still kind of skeptical of some of the women, just like Janice Dickinson. I absolutely did not believe her at all. I do not like the woman, and I don't think she's a very honest woman. She's not very trustworthy or anything like that. So I kind of didn't believe her. But it's highly possible that he probably did do some of those things to those women, and it is horrible and it is horrific. And he should, get the thing. He should get what he deserves. But if let's say 40 women came out. Let's just say if 10 of those women were found lying about the whole ordeal, then this does not look good for either party. Either for Bill or the women.
Nope. It's a heel program. There's no baby faces here.
Yep. But I think we can wrap this. But do you think he's going to see life behind a jail cell, behind bars? Do you think he's going to be there?
I'd be very surprised if he did.
Yeah, I would be too.
Because the man's 80 years old. I mean,
mm-hmm.
Now they did put him under house arrest. I mean, is it possible that they may just decide to let him serve out the rest of his term under house arrest, where he can't leave the house?
Yeah.
And he has to be, I guess, under constant supervision.
Mm-hmm.
That would not shock me if they decided to go that route. If they decide, okay, we're not gonna put him in prison, but we are going to keep an eye on him. We're gonna put him under house arrest.
Yeah.
It's like he can still live in his house, but he can't go anywhere. He can't. He's gonna be under supervision, things of that nature. And then I think and listen. I'm not saying that what he did was right. When I'm saying this,
mm-hmm.
I'm not defending Bill Cosby in any way.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that there's a possibility that they may just decide to leave him under house arrest.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Like I said, I would be surprised if they sentence him to prison. I probably wouldn't be surprised if they would keep him under house arrest. But the prison thing, I still don't see that happening. For the life of me, I just don't see that happening. I would be very shocked.
I don't either. Like I say, once again, I would be surprised if they did.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I would too.
But he got Bill Cosby was really, really funny as hell. He was great.
He was.
Great on the Cosby Show, and the whole kids say the darndest things. Fantastic on that. I remember him very. It's like most of your, because I grew up watching the Cosby Show when I was little. I'm sure you was too. When you was, and it's like, man, this is a tough scenario. It's like, what do I think of the dude now? Since it's this, and I'm going to keep an open mind. I'm going to say that, me personally, I would love to see more proof. I don't think there was enough proof. I think the jury, they're in the pocket. They're probably a mostly leftist leaning jury, and leftist leaning court. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was some bias in that decision of the court system in the court ruling.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. And I mean, Gloria Allred and Lisa Bloom could have gotten some women from somewhere.
Yeah.
Much like they did for President Trump.
Yeah.
That didn't work. It didn't work in that case, but
speaking of sexual harassment, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
We'll certainly be keeping an eye on this one. The situation with Bill Cosby. We'll certainly be keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, because I think he's going to get retried. I think he's going to go back into court in a couple of weeks or so to see his sentencing, because he's out on bond right now in house arrest.
Yeah.
But let's go on to another bombshell that was dropped a few days ago. A former, maybe a former journalist or an employee from NBC accused Tom Brokaw of sexual harassment. Now, I don't want to be biased here. I don't want to be biased here, but I don't like Tom Brokaw at all. But
no.
It's more of he's innocent until proven guilty. Even though I don't like the guy, even though I don't like him at all, he's still innocent until proven guilty. He's still, and it's something that other people don't believe in now. They don't believe innocent until proven guilty anymore. They believe guilty until proven innocent. Just because it's an allegation somehow makes it true.
Right. I think that's a good way to look at it. I'm not a big fan of Tom Lockjaw or Brokaw, whatever his name is, but this is just another he said, she said type deal.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let my bias against him color the way I feel about this particular case, because this woman could just as easily be lying.
Yeah. And it's just only one woman came out saying that he groped her and started kissing her and everything back in like the 90s. So it's just one person. Yeah, again he's innocent until proven guilty. And again, I don't like the dude, but
look at the allegations against President Trump.
Yeah.
These women who claim that he sexually harassed them, or Stormy Daniels. I mean, that's the perfect example. Saying, "Oh, well, we had we had an affair or whatever."
Yeah. Basically, she said we had a consensual affair. Nothing inappropriate happened. It was all consensual. And then everybody's like saying, "Oh, how dare he?" It's like, geez, having an affair is wrong, but dude, at least he didn't rape her. It could have been worse.
It's like that's the key word right there: consensual.
Yeah.
And if it did happen, it's between him and Melania. It's not between him. It's not anybody else's business.
Yeah.
But we know that the left, will make it their business. They'll be outraged. It's called fudge.
How dare he had an affair before he was president?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh! I mean, it's not going to end, and I got a feeling, it's summer's coming in, and things get a lot of crazy during the summer. So they're probably going to bring out the same women again and try that up. They probably bring out a new accusation on him, saying that someone he groped me or something like that. I want to be surprised, and then Gloria Allred's going to come in and try to save the day. We've seen this happen, countless times before.
There's also, not only is it Stormy Daniels, also this Karen McDougal, who was a former Playboy playmate.
Yeah, and she said that he treated her with respect. She said that nothing inappropriate happened, and that he was very, very romantic. So, this is just trying to make him look bad. That's all it is.
So So here's the thing. It's like, where's the problem? He wasn't a scumbag towards these women.
Yeah.
If they said it was consensual, if they said that he treated them with respect, if this happened, of course, then what's the problem?
Yeah.
And he did this before he was president.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if he did this while he was married, who cares? That's between him and Melania.
I mean, we're not a freaking marriage counselor, so we don't care about all we don't care. I mean, it's between, like you said, between him and Melania, and if he told Melania and she said, you know what, I want to give you another chance, that's fine. That's completely fine. Who cares? No one cares. The only thing I care about is that we'll get into this a little bit later, that North Korea and South Korea has finally got a peace treaty going on, and they've stopped all the missile tests in North Korea, and they're decided to become allies to South Korea now. That's the only thing I care about, is that Trump stopped World War III. I mean, who cares about Stormy Daniels? Who cares about the former Playboy Playmate of the Month? And who cares about all this other Russian nonsense that's going on? And we'll also get into the DNC lawsuit against Russia, Trump, and a whole bunch of other crap ton of people that is going to be backfired on the DNC completely, because if this lawsuit goes through, then the DNC is going to have to show evidence to prove all this that actually happened, and then the plaintiffs or the defendants has to defend themselves and say, hey, bring out the servers, bring out whoever you need to bring out, and prove that the DNC was actually hacked by Russia.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. There's something else I was going to bring up. Had to do with I think let's see. Yeah, I mean, there have been past presidents who have had affairs while they were in office. FDR,
JFK.
Yeah, JFK, FDR, Bill Clinton.
JFK.
Yeah, there you go. But like I say, it goes back. Like I say, it goes back to FDR, as far as we know. Because FDR was messing around on Eleanor.
Yeah, and it probably goes back later. It probably goes back later than FDR. It
probably does.
So if an affair while president is an impeachable offense, then you need to erase history, because 9 times out of 10, former and past presidents probably had an affair with someone. Intern, secretary, Secret Service agent, whatever.
The only thing is, I mean, Bill Clinton. The problem with Bill Clinton having an affair during his presidency is not that he had the affair. That's not the issue. The issue is he lied about it under oath.
Yeah. And if he didn't lie about it, then he would never have been impeached or resigned.
Right. If he told the truth.
If he was upfront. Yep.
He should have been like, okay, yeah, it did happen. And he wouldn't have had a problem. There would not have been an issue if he just admitted he did it.
Mm-hmm.
If he'd come out, in the first place and admitted it, rather than, making people wait 6 months and then coming out and saying, oh, yeah, it did happen. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta say this about Bill Clinton. He knows when to keep his mouth shut, and Hillary does not. I gotta say that.
She has been unbearable as of late.
Yeah,
she really has. But I think that people need to also realize we did not elect a priest. We didn't elect a pastor.
Yeah, he's not Pope. Although right. Trump would probably be a better Pope than freaking Pope Francis. To be honest with you.
I think so.
I'd rather have Trump as Pope than Francis.
Yeah, just a minute. We're gonna make Catholicism great again. It's gonna be huge.
We're gonna build a wall around the Vatican. It's already there. We're gonna make it bigger. We didn't even talk about this. I'm glad I brought up the Pope because a few weeks ago the Pope allegedly said that there was no hell. There was no hell at all. Did you hear about this?
Oh yeah. I did hear about that, yes. Mm-hmm.
And then the Catholic Church didn't deny that he said that. They just came out with a statement, a BS statement. Yeah, so this Pope right here is just a horrible Pope. I think he's worse than Pope Benedict, but there's no Pope John Paul II. He's a great Pope.
I love Pope John Paul.
Yeah. But, Pope Francis, they need to get rid of him. They need to, if there's an impeachment clause for the Pope, then they need to enact on that ASAP because this dude is killing the Catholic.
To me, Pope John Paul was the closest thing to a saint. I mean, he would go and visit, sick people in the hospital. Mm-hmm. He would pray for people. I mean, I liked him. He was a good Pope. I liked Pope John Paul.
Yeah.
I'm not Catholic, but I liked him.
Yeah.
He seemed like a good man. He really did.
Yeah, and there's something about this Pope that I cannot put my finger on. He seems so fake. Oh yeah. I mean, why would the Pope come out and say there's no such thing as hell? I mean, allegedly said that. Even though the Catholic Church didn't deny that.
He's a freaking SJW. That's all he is. Social justice warrior. He's a freaking lefty.
It seems like the Pope sold out to globalism.
Yeah, he's not a good guy at all. This Pope is not a good guy.
Yeah.
Pope John Paul was a good guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I pine for the days of Pope John Paul now.
Yeah. Or at least have a Pope that's like Pope John Paul.
Yes, yeah. I would take Pope John Paul right now. If I was Catholic, I'd be ashamed to have this Pope.
Yeah, I would too. I would be definitely ashamed. Because
if somebody asked me if I was Catholic, I'd be like, well, yeah, but I don't claim this Pope.
Yeah, not my Pope. Hashtag not my Pope.
There you go. Yes, exactly.
Yep. Not my Pope.
Francis, this guy.
Yeah, so I was kind of concerned that we might have not had a show this week because some dude came out that said the world was going to end on the 23rd of Monday.
Yeah, that's right.
However, we're still here. Fortunately, we're still here. However, I think the same dude that came out that says the world's going to end on the 23rd has pushed that back to sometime in October. So we're just going to have to wait and see if the world will end again in October. Gee, how many freaking times have we heard this? I know back in 2012, the Mayan calendar was supposed to end on December 12th. Like a couple of years after that whole ordeal, the world was going to end. And it never did. So
I remember 2011 that somebody said, "Oh, the world's going to end this year. It's going to be this year. It's going to end," and nothing ever happened. And then they even gave a specific date, May 21st, at a certain time. You know?
Yeah.
And it never happened.
Yeah. And then you had back in the early 2000s, people that said, you remember like June 6, 2006, 666, oh, the world's going to end. And then, and then 999, 2009, the world's going to end, because of numerology and all these numbers, and then symbols come together. I mean, here's the thing. Nobody's going to predict. Nobody is going to be accurate when the world ends. It's going to come. Nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to know when it's going to come.
Yeah,
however,
the whole 2012 thing. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. However, I am Shane Stradamus, and I might be the only person that might be able to predict the world ending. So if I get a couple numbers in my head, I'll tell you guys when the world's going to end. I'm going to be shocked if I'm right. I mean, I was right. Okay, so how scary am I as Shane Stradamus? I mean, last Super Bowl, the one that I actually watched, I predicted. I said it was going to be a tiebreaker. It was going to go into overtime. It was, and boom, Patriots won. I was right. Yeah, and I got the Facebook post to prove it. So, yep, Shane Stradamus. I might be Nostradamus reincarnated. Shane Stradamus, but yeah, the world is not going to end anytime. So I don't see it ending anytime soon. All right, but if it did, I'd be glad because at least Trump was president when the world ended.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I'll be darn happy.
Yep.
But well, let's see here. What else happened while we had the week off? Let's go ahead and get to this DNC lawsuit because this is a one big screwed up mess. So the DNC filed a lawsuit against like a dozen people. They filed it against the country of Russia is involved. So I don't know how you're going to subpoena Russia to come to court. Is Putin going to show up to court or something? I don't know how that's going to happen. They're suing Donald Trump and his campaign. They're suing Trump Jr. They're suing Roger Stone. They're suing 10 John Does. So 10 mystery people are being sued. It might be one of us, Henry. We might be one of the people that's getting sued. But this DNC lawsuit is nothing more than a fund for the DNC. They're going to use this to make money off of this. They're going to have the DNC. They're going to say, "Oh, donate to our lawsuit so we can get Trump and impeach Trump." And they're like in the hole for like $7 million in debt. The DNC is so they need something to make money, and this lawsuit is one way to make money. However, I've been watching Roger Stone. He does some great legal work. He knows some legal work. Lionel from Lionel Nation, from Lionel Media. He's a lawyer. Yeah. He knows the insides and outs of all this, and he's saying that this whole DNC thing is nothing more than a laughable lawsuit. And I can see why. And he's basically saying that, these people that's being sued, they can like come to the DNC and say, "Hey, well, release the service that you didn't release to the FBI to prove that you was hacked by Russia. Bring out, all these mystery witnesses and everything to testify against the DNC." And then, this is going to be much more of a headache for the DNC than a win for them. And it's actually probably a win for us because this thing is going to be horrible for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. I don't see this going well for them. Yeah, I have to agree. I don't see this.
I cannot wait until they retract the lawsuit or something within the next couple of months. Because they're going to actually lose. I think they're going to lose money from this lawsuit than actually gain money. All benefit to us, though.
Well, I mean, listen, they got to pay the attorney fees and all that, and there's probably all
Court
kinds
costs.
of costs, court costs. There you go, yeah. So they you're right. I think you're right. I think they may end up losing money more so than actually getting any.
Yeah. But we'll keep you guys posted if there's any major developments in this lawsuit.
Yes.
So James Comey, because this is all, I guess, somehow combined together. The James Comey, Russia, all this is combined together. So James Comey is out on his book tour, which is in the bargain bin aisle for like $5 now because no one's buying it. And then Amazon saying it's a #1 bestseller, and that's a freaking lie. You know they probably rigged the best-selling list. So I haven't bought the book yet.
If they sell it at half-price books, it might be about $5, maybe.
Yeah. I have a store.
Hey, I was gonna say cheap plug. If you're in a city that has a half-price books, go. They got great stuff. They got books. You get books on all kinds of subjects for really good prices. I mean, even brand new books. They may sell for half off, so you can't go wrong with that. And they do have a website. I think it's hpb.com. So I would definitely check them out.
Yeah, we have an Ollie's up my way, and they have really good cheap books too. Even the newer books. I mean, you go to the Barnes and Noble and they want $30 for it, but Ollie's, what Ollie's does is they buy the overstock of like Barnes and Nobles, and they mark the prices down significantly. Right. And so if you buy a $30 book at Barnes and Noble, if you have an Ollie's in your area, you probably can get it for about $10.
So that's good. That's good. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, and they even have on the price tag that Barnes and Nobles wants $30. Ollie's is charging you $10. Compare prices.
That's a good deal. I like that. Makes me wish we had something like that around here.
You're going to go to Ohio. I think there might be one in Ohio. If you're in Ohio during the conference,
I'll see if there's any close by. Yeah. But yeah, I know we're kind of interrupting the train of thought. But I mean, this show we go all over the place on this show anyway. So
yeah.
Hey, we figure why not get a cheap plug in for some of our favorite businesses.
Exactly. I mean, even though we're not getting paid, we're not sponsored by these people, but oh well, who cares? But yeah, going back to James Comey, and he's on his book tour. He's trying to make a quick buck off of the whole mess. More of Comey's memos has actually been released, and you've probably seen a couple of them. Let me see if I can pull some up. But in the memo, he states that he's not a leaker. He's not that type of weasel, Even though he leaked to a friend so that his friend can leak to the media, he's still not a leaker. He said so himself. He's
not a leaker. No, you can trust him.
Oh yeah, you can trust Comey, the 7-foot-tall swamp monster. You can trust him. He needs to play Chewbacca. Yeah. He needs to be a good Chewbacca. He can get into some acting, play Chewbacca, be Chewbacca's stunt double. But let me see if I can let me try to find the memos. But
that man's a jackass. I mean, he's just an absolute jackass.
Yeah.
He ABC interviews him, Store Stephanopoulos, or Snuffleupagus, as I call him.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes on CNN to have a town hall meeting. I mean, if that's not
the CNN, which the questions are probably planted from an audience member.
If that's not the biggest joke, to go on freaking CNN, the biggest fake news network around,
Yeah, no one probably watched the town hall. I didn't even watch it. I just saw clips of it from the internet, and that was about it.
Nope, didn't watch neither. Did not want to. I think it was on Wednesday night. That was the same time we were doing the Xcast.
No, yeah, we was doing the X-Files, so that's way better, way better than Comey's Memos. Comey's like town hall thing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's a weasel. He's a liar.
A leaker.
The man's a leaker. Yeah, even though he says he's not a leaker.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. He said that he gave information to a friend from a college, Columbian law professor from a college, to leak to the media. He leaked to the friend so he can leak to the media. I mean,
yeah,
he's still leaking.
He's not a leaker. He's not a leaker.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter how you look at it. He gave the information. He leaked the information. He gave the information to a friend in hopes to so that he can leak it to the media in hopes to be a special counsel involved. And that's exactly what he said during his testimony. And that's exactly what happened, is that he leaked to the media and the special counsel was called.
I guess he figures, oh, I'm just a leaker by proxy, because I told my friend about it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just, I don't think, we can't take Comey seriously. The guy, he's been caught in so many lies and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that he did say is he said that he has a nickname for the President of the United States. It's President of the United States, because he doesn't have any kind of nickname for President Trump.
Oh my gosh! And then I think the most entertaining aspect of his FBI directing days is that when he addressed the FBI Academy that day, and he said, "You're gonna have to stick with me for 10 years," and then like a few weeks later, he got fired.
Oh yeah,
that was the best thing.
Yeah, I cannot take the guy seriously. Not whatsoever. The guy, he's no. Let's see. Now something that I mentioned earlier, that there were two cases that came out that involved Make America Great Again hats. Okay. Mm-hmm. The first one, this was in New York City. There was a guy, he was on the subway. He was a black guy. He was wearing a Make America Great Again hat and t-shirt. He was harassing this Hispanic guy, calling him all kinds of racial slurs. And then they get off the train. He pushes the guy onto the subway, or onto the track. Now, okay. All right, this is a guy wearing a Trump hat and a Trump shirt. Now, does that mean he is a Trump supporter, or that he was berating a Hispanic person? Does that mean he's... I don't necessarily think he is a Trump supporter. You can get those Trump hats and Trump shirts practically anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
This could have been a plant to make it look like Trump supporters are like this.
Mm-hmm.
It would not shock me if that was the case, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Well, and plus, that's an insult to black Trump supporters, too.
Yeah.
The dude was black. I saw the video, and I know exactly what you're talking about. And they showed some of the video, and he was like, looking around and everything. And to me, it looked kind of suspicious. That was kind of a red flag. He was like looking around, and it looked like he was actually looking for that guy to come up so he can harass him and push him around. Because the camera was right there in front of him. And he was like looking straight in that camera, and he was like looking around, acting all suspicious and everything. So I don't believe that dude was a Trump supporter. I don't believe he was a Trump supporter at all. I mean, anybody can get a Make America Great Again hat and shirt, like you said, Henry, and pretend to be a Trump supporter. I mean,
it Yeah, it was a setup to make Trump supporters look bad.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's what I think it was.
Yeah.
But on the opposite, but on the opposite side of the coin, even if it was, even if he was a genuine Trump supporter,
Mm-hmm.
he does not represent. He does not represent all of us who are Trump supporters.
Yeah.
Even if by some miracle he is a Trump supporter, but I don't believe he is.
Yeah, I don't believe it is either. But going back to the "Make America Great Again" hat, there was a news article that came out that said, and this is in New York as well, that they have the right to refuse anyone wearing a Trump supporting anything like a hat or a shirt, anything that supports Trump. Let me bring
Yes.
up, yeah. So let me bring up that article and read it for you guys.
Now I'll just say this, just to kind of just to, I'll say this just to add a little bit of fairness in here. It could have been a case of, because a lot of private businesses will have a sign or they'll have a policy that says, we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone. It could have been a case of that. I mean, it may not necessarily. It might, I don't know. But it may not necessarily be a case of someone discriminating against somebody who's a Trump supporter. It may be a case of reserving the right to refuse service to anyone, especially if it's a private establishment.
No, this was actually ordered by the courts in New York.
Right. Well, yeah, I kind of think. Well, yeah, okay. But now, wait a minute. Did it start out that way, or did it start out with? I mean, did it start out with just someone in a bar being refused service?
I have to find the article real quick. Let's see here. I might have passed it.
Because if the court case is a direct result of this, then the judge is overstepping their boundary. But if let's say this was,
okay, here we go.
This was something that happened, okay, go ahead.
And this is from Fox News. Judge rules New York City bar can refuse service to Trump supporter wearing a "Make America Great Again" hat. A Manhattan judge ruled Wednesday that kicking a Trump supporter out of a bar does not violate the law because the law does not protect against political discrimination. Greg Pataik of Philadelphia claims that he was refused service and eventually removed from a New York City bar in January of 2017 for wearing a "Make America Great Again" hat in a lawsuit against the establishment. Anyone who supports Trump or believes in what you believe is not welcome here, and you need to leave right now because we won't serve you, Pataik claims the staff of the Happiest Hour told him. Pataik claimed that the incident offended his sense of being an American, the New York Post reported. The lawyer representing the Happiest Hour, Elizabeth Conway, argued that he was not discriminated against because only religious, not political beliefs are protected under the state and city's discrimination laws. Supporting Trump is not a religion, Conway argued. Pataik's attorney, Paul Legagi, I guess that's how you pronounce it, responded in court to the purpose of the hat that he wore it because he was visiting the 9/11 memorial. He was paying spiritual tribute to the claims of the victims of 9/11. The "Make America Great Again" hat was part of his spiritual belief, Legari claimed. Rather than remove his hat, instead he held to his true spiritual belief and was forced from the bar. Legargi told Justice David Cohen, the Post reported. The judge pressed Legargi on the spiritual nature of the client's belief, saying that the bar staff would not be aware of Pataik's specific religious philosophies. How many members are in a spiritual program that your client is engaged in? The judge asked. Your Honor, we don't allege the amount of individuals, Legagi said. So is it a creed of one? The judge asked. Yes, Your Honor, Legagi replied, the Post reported. The judge eventually made a ruling in the matter, saying the incident amounted to nothing more than a petty slight. The Post said. Plaintiff does not state any faith-based principle to which the hat relates, Judge Cohen said. Here, the claim that the plaintiff was not served and eventually escorted out of the bar because of his perceived support of President Trump is not outrageous conduct. Patnaik was suing for unexpensive emotional damage and will review with Lagarde to determine whether or not to appeal the verdict. The Hapkins would deny that Patnaik had been removed in the first place, saying that Patnaik was sufficiently pleased with his service at the bar and added a $36 tip onto the $180 tab, according to the New York Post. The bar owner suggests that Patnaik's lawsuit was a publicity stunt. All right.
Well, I mean, okay, you know what it sounds like? It sounds to me, this is what it sounds to me like. It sounds, I mean, this is a he said type deal.
Yeah.
You know, all right, this guy, this happened a year and a half ago. This guy claims that he was refused service because of the hat he was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, do we have actual documentation of this? I don't think we do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough call on this one.
He could have been claiming he could be claiming that he was discriminated against.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't necessarily mean it happened. He could be making a claim to get money.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is a tough call. I believe that let's just say if he did wore the hat and he was forced out because of the hat, that should be against the First Amendment right, the freedom of speech. You know, and then I think that's what they should have argued with instead of this whole spiritual nonsense. I think it should have been, you know, the First Amendment right to be allowed and to wear any freaking hat you want to wear in a bar. So let's just say if this was all accurate and everything, let's just say if he was denied, if he was removed from the bar because of his hat, that would have been an assault on the First Amendment of freedom of speech, whether it be a hat, a shirt, or whatever. But it seems like the dude, and according to the bar, he came in, he spent over $180, and he put a $36 tip on it. So he was pretty well pleased, and it seemed like if he was going to spend $180, why did he spend that $180 before or after or whenever he got the whole hat ordeal went on? I mean, you think if you walk into the bar, if you think you walk into a bar, they're automatically going to turn you away because you're wearing the hat. But he walked into the bar, he spent $180, a $36 tip, and it seemed like it was not escorted out or anything, you know, prior to that, or had any, you know, anything said to him for him wanting to spend $186.
Well, you know, it sounds to me like, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but it sounds to me like this guy was just looking to, try and make himself out to be a victim because of, you know, Trump supporters have been. We saw during the campaign, Trump supporters were beat up, and Trump supporters were intimidated by the leftists and everything like that. Well, we saw that. Maybe this guy was kind of jumping on that. Because,
and plus, we don't know for sure if he's an actual Trump supporter or not. I mean, we said in the previous story with the black dude, anybody can get a hat and put it on, and you know they're claimed to be a Trump supporter.
Yeah, I did not even think about that aspect. You know that, but you make a good point. That's absolutely the truth. I mean, this guy could have done this to make it seem like he was a Trump supporter, and that all Trump supporters are, you know, making false claims.
Yeah.
But we don't know for sure. I mean, we absolutely do not know for sure. I'm going to err on the side of caution and say that this guy is full of it.
Yeah. But I agree with you, but I'm also going to say that I think the bar is going to be wrong in the sense that they shouldn't turn people away for expressing their First Amendment rights.
Well, yeah, but we don't know if they turned them away or not.
Let's just say if they did. I'm just going to say if they did, then the bar shouldn't allow it to be.
I know where you're coming from. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the bar shouldn't be allowed to turn people away for expressing their First Amendment.
We don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But obviously, we don't know for sure if they did or not. All we have is this guy's word.
Let's just say in general, nobody should be turned away by expressing their First Amendment rights.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I agree with that. I'll go along with that for sure. Yeah. So.
Let's see here. Anything else that we're missing?
I'm trying to think if we missed.
I know exactly what we're missing. So we talked about her a couple times on the show before, and we absolutely hate her. So it came out that her old blog, Joy Reid's blog, was full of anti-gay and homophobia tirade. Have you heard about this? So have you heard about this yet?
No, this is my first time hearing it. Oh wait, I think I may have seen something about that. I think I might have seen something about that.
All right, so let me give you the quick rundown. So Joy Reid had an old blog that is now closed out and has been in the Internet Archives in the Wayback Machine. So someone had the idea to go through her old blog from the Wayback Machine and found a whole bunch of anti-gay rants and homophobic slurs and everything on her blog that she posted. But Joy Reid came out and said that, well, hackers got into the blog and posted that stuff. And the Wayback Machine came out and released a statement that's saying, no, there's no evidence of hacking. And apparently there's supposed to be time travel involved. So time traveling hackers went back in time to pump fake blog posts on her website. And I think the whole amazing story out of this should be that time travel has been invented now. I mean, forget about the whole homophobic thing, but time travel, good gracious, time travel has been invented. So time traveling hackers.
It's the time machine man of a DeLorean, and it's one of the drivers, a crazy, wild-eyed looking old man saying, "Great Scott!"
You know, I was surprised she didn't take it a step further and say time traveling Russian hackers is the Russians.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure she probably alluded somewhere Russia did this, but but the Wayback Machine website and the Wayback Machine. In case you probably knew Henry, Mr. Peabody and Sherman.
Yeah, it's
the Wayback Machine.
Yeah, I know.
But there's a website called the Wayback Machine.
Archive. Is archive.org. You just go to that, and then URLs of older websites and blogs, things like that, and you can find. Sometimes you can find, content from 10 that website now, but they've saved certain websites.
Yeah.
You can look at a website from 10, 15 years ago on there.
Yeah. Yeah, so everybody is on the bandwagon that Joy Reid should be fired. Here's the thing. I don't think if I 100% believe that she did post those blog posts. She should not be She should not be fired of posting those blog posts. She should be fired because she lied about not posting those blog posts, if that makes any sense. I think because she lied. She said they were hacked, and the Wayback Machine people came out with a statement saying disproving all of that, because there's no absolutely way for them to hack into that and post fake stuff on a website that's not been around in a long time. But what Joy should have done, she should have come clean and say, hey, yeah, I did post this back when I was such and such, but my viewpoint has changed. And I don't even like the woman. I don't even like Joy Reid at all. But I'm kind of a nice guy. If But she should have come out and just say, hey, I did posted that, but that was back way before. And take it like a woman, take it like a woman instead of, doing the Hillary Clinton route and lying about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. This is just, but this is what leftists do. It's like they write something like 10 years ago, then if that's not how they feel now, they try and weasel out of it all night. Like, oh, no. It must have been time travel.
Yeah. Just
wait. I wrote that at a different time in my life,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right, exactly. Own up to it, but trying to weasel your way out of it, which is what she's trying to do, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it owes to the hypocritical nature of the left.
Well, MSNBC is still sticking by her, even though I think they should have fired her because she lied about that. She lied about the whole hacking and fabrication of everything. She lied. She should have been fired because of that. However, this LGBTQ group revoked her Straight for Equality in Media award that she was to receive in May. So they revoked her award.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave, right?
Yeah. Oh, geez. Oh, man. So I think we covered the big stories that happened this past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I don't think we missed anything.
Can't think of anything that we missed. Let's go ahead and go to some local news. And Henry, if you've got any local news you want to share with us, go right ahead.
Okay, I have one story tonight, and it actually pertains to the new senator of.
Wait a minute! We did forget something. We did forget North Korea and South Korea.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, that is
huge.
Yeah, so we'll get back to your local story, but let's go ahead and go to North Korea because this is huge. So, North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un actually stepped across the border of South Korea and met with the South Korean president and shook hands. And it seems like they had a very cordial meeting, and I think they signed a peace treaty as well to denuclearize and to begin peace talks with South Korea and hope to become allies with South Korea. Mm-hmm. So, and people saying, "Oh, this isn't Trump's doing." How is it not Trump's doing? I mean, Trump was the only one that took Kim Jong-un to task. He's the one that said his button was bigger than his, which is hilarious. Called him Little Rocket Man. I mean, he just is like poking at him and poking at him and prodding at him until Little Rocket Man got up and said, "Hey, you know what? Let's end this now." They're pretty screwed anyway. They're pretty screwed anyway because I think there was like an earthquake that freaking demolished their nuclear site and beyond repair, from what I understand. There was like an earthquake that happened. So this is good, and this is Trump's Reagan's tear down this wall moment. I mean, if Trump isn't,
it is.
If Trump isn't nominated or rewarded a Nobel Peace Prize, then they just need to stop giving out peace prizes because this is huge. I mean, not with 70 years or more. Like there was the war was at a standstill for so long, and now for them to be able to end the war completely, and Trump, did this. This is huge. This is history in the making right here. We're living through a historic time.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, unlike Obama, Trump would actually earn it.
Yeah.
Because we know Obama did not earn his.
Yeah.
because he only got his like right after he got into office. I mean, less than what 2 to 3 months after he got into office,
Yeah.
he gets
It
Nobel
was
Peace
really,
Prize.
really on. Yeah. And the only reason why he was rewarded the Peace Prize is because he was the first black president. Let's be honest with that. Because he didn't do
Yeah,
nothing. I mean, he armed ISIS. He created ISIS. He created that whole mess in Syria. I mean, he did a lot of stuff that was not peaceworthiness.
nope. Yeah, it's true. He did. I mean, Kanye West said he didn't know anything about Chicago, so
Yeah. He had 8 years to do something about Chicago, and Kanye West, was spot on when he said that. But,
mm-hmm.
you know, Trump needs the Peace Prize. Oh, hell, give one to Dennis Rodman because I think he might have, pushed Kim Jong Un a little bit to work with
Yeah,
Trump.
that's amazing. That's interesting too. I mean, Rodzilla of all people.
Yeah, I mean, if I was Trump, bring Dennis Rodman to this whole Korean summit that's going to happen in the next month or so. Because Dennis Rodman deserves some credit too, because he went there a few times and he talked to Kim Jong Un, and shockingly, did Rodzilla Dennis Rodman, the dude that had wore a dress while he played basketball, is like freaking, and it should be ambassador of North Korea now. I mean, he should be
Yeah.
guaranteed ambassador of North Korea.
Yeah, yeah. Just imagine him as the ambassador. Wow.
I mean, it'd be a good fit because apparently Kim Jong Un likes Dennis Rodman a lot for some odd
He
reason.
does. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah, I got to give credit where credit is due. Dennis Rodman, it really helped out. I mean,
Yeah.
he really did.
Yeah.
He really does for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I cannot wait to see where this whole North and South Korea goes from here. I don't see them going back to one whole Korea again. I do see staying at North and South Korea. I don't see them coming together.
I don't think they're going to take. I don't think they're going to take that big step and decide to unify the countries.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening, but this is a start. This right here, what they're doing is a start. So,
yeah. So peace. We got one war done. So there's not going to be war with North Korea at all. Now, now Trump needs to take care of Syria and Iran and this whole Israel thing, and then bring peace to the Middle East. Trump needs to bring peace to the Middle East, because if he does that, then he deserves like 50 freaking peace prizes for that.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
But I think we've covered that. The big stuff. All right, Henry, go ahead and go back to your local news.
Okay, this is about our incoming Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith. She has been endorsed by the Mississippi Association of Realtors. She was back in Mississippi today to receive the endorsement of the Mississippi Association of Realtors. The organization consists of more than 6,000 realtors across the state of Mississippi, and Karen Glass made the announcement on behalf of what was called the largest professional organization in the state of Mississippi by the governor. Glass said Hyde-Smith's work ethic aligns with the motto of the organization, Property Professionals, Community Champions. We are proud to share our commitment to improving our communities with Senator Hyde-Smith, Glass said. Just as she served as an aggregate for realtor issues in the Mississippi Senate and in her role as the Commissioner of Agriculture and Commerce, the realtors know that Senator Hyde-Smith will continue her hard work as a champion of realtor issues. In her address to the gathered members of the organization, Hyde-Smith discussed how she intends to continue to address measures to ensure realtors and their related industries continue to grow. Many Mississippians are employed in the real estate business and the related industries and contribute so much to the economic health of our state. We know what you contribute to that and how important that is, but what I want you to know is that as your U.S. Senator, I'll continue to promote policies at the federal level that support that economic growth and that job creation to the very best of my ability. As the campaign gets underway and all 5 candidates have filed their paperwork, Governor Bryant is proud of how hard the newly appointed senator has worked to co-sponsor legislation in D.C. relating to gun rights for Mississippians across state lines and bills to help confirm President Trump's nominees. Bryant said that his appointee has hit the ground running and taken on issues facing Mississippians in her first few weeks in Washington. She is actually getting things done. I don't know that any of the lawyers that are running have really accomplished anything, Governor Bryant said. Highsmith knows that working and campaigning at the same time can be a grueling task, but she says her staff will help her along, and she is confident that she has the strength to make it through the campaign. There's not anybody out there that can outwork me, Highsmith said. I'm a fierce campaigner. I've been through campaigns before. I know what it takes, and it takes a strong start and a strong finish, and we plan to be there every step of the way. President Trump has not endorsed any of the candidates in the race so far, and Highsmith said that they have had some very good meetings and that she has a good relationship with the president. Governor Bryant said that he agrees with Trump's decision to wait to make an endorsement due to the importance of the election after Republicans lost both races in Pennsylvania and Alabama. The governor also mentioned that he would not pressure President Trump to endorse the newly appointed senator. When the president decides to make an endorsement, if he does, we welcome that endorsement. There is not an effort by me to push on the president or take advantage of our friendship. He'll know when the time comes to endorse Cindy Hyde-Smith, the governor said. As far as the role of the realtors, I think I should say realtors, in the election after their endorsement, Governor Bryant said that they need realtors across the state to do what they do best. I never met an introverted realtor. You guys know everybody. You love to communicate and have that personal relationship with the people that you serve, and that all of you know how to put up signs. So let's all go put up some Cindy Hyde-Smith signs and win this election. The race to replace Senator Thad Cochran in the U.S. Senate will conclude on November 6th. There are currently 4 candidates running against Hyde-Smith, including Senator Chris McDaniel, from Republican from Tupelo Mayor Jason Shelton, former Congressman Mike Espy, and Gaudier resident Toby Barty. So that is a good. That's a good. This is a good thing. I mean, that she's helping out realtors in our state, and seems like she has a good relationship with the president. And hey, you know, we could do a lot worse than her as far as replacing Thad Cochran.
Yeah. So she's going to be your vote in November, Henry?
Most likely, yes. Most likely, I'm thinking about just going ahead and voting for her because of the thing. I like the things that I've heard about her. I do like the things I've heard about her. So
good deal. All right. Let's go to on my local end. It's going to do with infrastructure, and yeah, this is going to be like right at my back door because I-77 is like right behind me, right out there, right here in the corner. So Mercer County, West Virginia. On Monday, the West Virginia Division of Highways held a public meeting at the Princeton City Hall. The meeting was meant for the public to ask questions about the plans for the reconstruction of I-77 in Mercer County. So basically what they're going to do is they're going to pave the roads and they're going to fix the roads on I-77. The project is up for discussion was the paving project on the portion of the interstate between Virginia's state line to Princeton, West Virginia. According to Randy Damron with the West Virginia Department of Transportation, this project is part of Governor Jim Justice Roads for Prosperity. The traffic tie-ups, I think, is what on everybody's mind, trying to anticipate how long it's going to take them to get through, Damron said. Officials with the West Virginia Department of Transportation told 59 News they know that construction is going to cause traffic, but it needs to be what's done. It needs to be done. The project said, hey, so next week actually is going to start. To have a good road, you need to have good construction, and when it's all said and done, it'll be very smooth ride on I-77, Damron said. there would be detour for semi-trucks to go north of exit 1, since there would be only one lane. The project has 3 different phases, so there would be a heavy construction crew presence. Construction engineer Tara Goins warned drivers to be cautious. Take it slow and watch out for the guys working on the project. Follow all the traffic signs and traffic directions and we'll be okay, Goins said. We are told that construction will be finished by early November of this year. So basically what Jim Justice did is, in case you guys don't remember, Jim Justice was the Democratic Senator of West Virginia until he dropped the Democratic Party, came to the Republican side, and went to that Trump rally last year in West Virginia, which is, I'm glad he did that. I'm still not a big fan of him. There's some things I don't agree with. I'm wholeheartedly agree with the roads project, because it needs to be done. I mean, there's potholes everywhere. I don't know what your guys' infrastructure is like on the roads and everything, but we got pot roads everywhere. Every time the tractor trailers go by, they crack the road because of the heavy loads and everything. So this whole construction thing is great. It definitely needs to be done. Yeah, there is some considerations of the whole traffic ordeal and that whole other nonsense. But if you're a true West Virginia like I am, you can go through the back roads and don't have to worry about that.
Well, I can tell you that there are roads around here. I mean, rural roads that have a lot of potholes. So
yeah,
I mean, definitely infrastructure is something that's very important. A good infrastructure is very important to any state. And I mean, we've been attempting here in Mississippi to get things done locally. Of course, President Trump has also discussed nationally, doing something nationally about infrastructure also. So, because we have to have good roads, we have to have good bridges. You have to make what's the word I'm looking for? You have to trust the bridges that you're crossing and trust that they won't collapse.
Yeah, we see that all the time. There's been numerous bridge collapsing. And tunnels too. Those tunnels, they get old and they started to collapse on themselves. We've seen that time and time again, and it definitely needs to be fixed. Bridges and tunnels and everything, they probably haven't been up to code since the day they were built, and that's why they're so bad and worn down. And not only that, you got the trains, and there's been a lot of train accidents because it's going off the rails. Infrastructure, good source of infrastructure, like you said, is very key to run an efficient country, I guess. Because you need bridges, you need roads, you need tunnels, you need trains, airplanes, buses, all that. It needs to be able to run at full capacity and efficiently every single time.
Yeah, I believe that to be the case. I believe that to be true. You have to have, you have to have everything running smoothly, and you have to make sure that when you're on the road that
it's safe. It's got to be safe.
You don't want to have. You do not want to be worrying about. What if I hit a real bad pothole and knocks my axle out of alignment?
Or hit the pothole and line up in the ditch somewhere, and I go off the road because it's that bad. But completely. Yeah. I'll update you guys throughout the projects because it's going to start next week, and we won't have any shows in May. So June, when we come back in June, I'll update you guys on the status of that, because it's going to be like a months-long project. Like they said, it's going to end in November.
Yeah, and we've talked about infrastructure here on this show before. We brought it up a few times.
Yeah.
So very important. So one thing before we go, you guys may remember I talked about sheriff down here in Chula, Mississippi, Kenneth Hampton, wore his cowboy hat. He's like one of those. He's like an old school, he's like an old school Western type sheriff. I mean, he just kicks ass and takes names.
Like David Clark.
Yeah.
Sheriff Joe Pio.
Well, they let him go down there as chief, but he is now chief up here in Shelby, Mississippi.
Oh, cool.
So he just moved to a different town. He's chief up here in Shelby, Mississippi, which is about 20 minutes north of here. So yeah, nice. I mean, I'm glad to have him in Bolivar County. I'm glad to have him here.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you are.
Yeah, he don't take no crap. He's like cheap toilet paper. He don't take no crap off nobody.
Oh yeah, and most sheriffs needs to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
this guy is very old school.
Yeah,
and I think he's younger than I am, but he's very old school. He's very much an old school type sheriff. He wears a gun. He has a gun belt. He has a gun on the, like an old Western. I mean, he looks like a gunslinger.
Oh, he has a revolver.
No, he carries. Yes, he carries a shotgun. He just wears a cowboy hat. Yeah, he's great. He's great. I love him.
Oh man, I wish I had a sheriff like that.
He says, hey, listen, you do the crime. Guess what? You're going to do the time. If you commit crime, I'm coming after you. He does.
Man,
he goes after the bad guys. Yes,
we need more sheriffs like that. Jeez.
Yeah, he is great. He is great. I love him.
Oh man, maybe he might be able to run for office someday. Governor or Senate.
Yeah, he's like Mississippi's version of David Clark. Very much so. Yes. He's very much like David Clark. I love him.
Oh, yeah, we need a lot more David Clarks and Joe Arpaios. We need a lot more of those.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I can guarantee you that whatever happened in Florida would have happened on Clark or Arpaio's watch.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Oh, apparently some union involving sheriff's deputies has come up with a vote of no confidence in that Sheriff Israel down there.
I heard about that.
So maybe they'll get him out of there.
Yeah, I hope they do get him out. I really do hope they get him out. And you know what's really interesting is that all these shootings and all these bad cops usually take place in Democratic-run cities. It's always the Democratic-run cities. All these bad things, because on these, conservative Republican sides, not a lot of shootings and killings happen, but it's always in the Democratic-run cities with the strongest thresholds of gun control.
Yep. That's true.
But we'll get into that. We'll get into that some later date. Let's go ahead and end this. Like I said at the beginning, the entire month of May. We'll be taking off. We're going to take a little break, take a hiatus. We'll be back in June 1st. However,
before we end it, if you just can't wait to see our smiling faces, tune in on the Looking for Bigfoot channel next Sunday night, 8 Eastern. We're going to have a live recap of the 2018 Ohio Bigfoot Conference.
Yeah. That's gonna be fun.
And then Shane, are we not bringing back Real or Not Real on May 12th?
I have decided to bump that to June 2nd.
June 2nd. Okay, but
Real or Not Real.
You check us out on our other channel and on May next Sunday, week from this Sunday night, 8 Eastern.
Yep.
We're gonna have a recap.
And then also in June is going to be the opening the X-Files vault again, 2 episodes, The Unnatural and Leonard Betts on June 27th. So a lot of things happening in June. A lot of things happening in June. June 1st is when Not Mainstream will return. June 2nd is when Real or Not Real on the Looking for Bigfoot channel will return. And then the X-Cast will return on June 27th. All of those times are going to be 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to do, and then, like you said, Henry, May 6th, this coming Sunday, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, is the recap of the Ohio Bigfoot Conference. And Henry's going to go down. And this is what, your 10th year, 8th year to the Ohio thing?
This is number 8.
8.
Yeah.
8. You got to do something big for year 10. You got to do something huge.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know what to do, but we'll think of something. We'll think of something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. All right, so let's go and end this. I hope you guys have a safe May and a fun May, because it's going to be, it's going to be kind of difficult without us, giving us our thoughts and opinions on what's happening.
Oh, wait a minute. But one other thing, in May also we're going to have our Finding Bigfoot series finale, the review, our final review, which will be on May 30th, I believe.
Yeah, because the Finding Bigfoot show is going to air that Sunday, the 27th. However, I won't be able to watch it during. I have to watch it on delay because I don't get Animal Planet, so I have to figure out where to watch it. But I have something in mind. Yeah, but I also tweeted Cliff about how many more episodes are there, and he hasn't tweeted me back because I wanted to know if there's going to be more than one besides the season finale, the series finale.
Well, now, Matt Moneymaker. All right. What they're going to do is on May 27th on Animal Planet, it's going to be 3 hours. It's going to be 2 hours for the series finale, and they're going to have a retrospective after that at 10 Eastern. 9 Central. Which should be a 1 hour retrospective.
Because we was looking on Matt's Twitter, and he said, air the rest of the episodes that wasn't been aired. So that is the retrospective, the unseen episodes that he's talking about.
I don't think so, but I think maybe the episodes he was talking about may have been the ones that are going to air on May 27th. And we already know he tweeted out that the episodes they're going to start airing on Travel Channel on May 18th are reruns from season 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of figured that. But you will be seeing Cliff in Ohio, will you?
And Bobo. Yes, they will be there.
Yeah, Cliff, so maybe you can get some inside information on what's going on. Cliff
I'll see what I can do. Yes, I will definitely see what I can do.
Hook us up, man. Hook us up.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go and end this. We can discuss. It gets real good when we go off the air.
It does.
But yeah, let's go off the air, and we see you guys back in June. However, we got 2 specials for Looking for Bigfoot, the 6th and the 30th of May, and then we'll be back in June. So God bless America and God bless President Trump. Good night, everybody.